Once upon a time, there was a small team that dreamed of changing the world. Their story was ignited by passion, but brought to life by hard work. Today, that team is us, Texas Enactus, and our story was written by,
for,
and to our world community.
Our story begins atop the UT Tower,
a blazing orange beacon which stands at the heart of the University of Texas at Austin campus,
where one can look out and see the world as it should be.
Communities where children are not forced to eat fast food, rather enjoy nutritious fruits and vegetables grown in their local area.
Countries where orphans are given opportunity through entrepreneurship,
where children of all nationalities, genders, and environments can learn to accept and appreciate themselves.
Our team took these wistful dreams and transformed them into realities with our two flagship continuation projects, Sprout Scouts and the Wayman Bakery Project.
As well as by developing a new initiative, ID Books, which we are very proud to announce this year.
Over the next several minutes, we will walk you along our journey to providing a long-term solution to hunger,
poverty,
and identity through environmentally,
socially,
and financially stable businesses rather than short-term charity.
So please, sit back.
And let's begin our journey to learn how Texas Enactus continues to show that what starts here changes the world.
Stories are not just fantasies or fairy tales. Sometimes the most moving stories are the realities happening in our own backyard.
According to a recent USDA study, food deserts are very prominent across the U.S., and Austin is one of the fastest growing ones.
Food deserts are defined as areas where families have to travel over a mile to reach a large grocery store, leaving families without the crucial fresh produce they need to live a healthy lifestyle.
Families in Southeast Austin have little time or money to drive far across town to purchase the bare essentials. They depend on fast food and gas stations not because they want to, but because it is their only chance at a real meal.
These young students and their families need long-term, affordable, and convenient access to fresh produce.
They also need motivation to learn how to best enjoy these healthy food options. They need Sprout Scouts.
Founded in late 2015 and supported with the Unilever Bright Future Grant, Sprout Scouts is a Texas Enactus initiative battling food deserts in the East Austin community.
But our efforts don't stop once we leave the classroom. We are constantly adapting our lessons to better meet the needs of our students and their families. For example, we recently introduced bilingual translations to make our lessons even more accessible.
We needed to teach kids the importance of sustainable, healthy foods, and we need to teach them how to nourish themselves. But first, we need to teach kids what healthy foods look like. Take this tomato, for example. Did you guys know that it was a fruit? Our kids didn't even know its name, much less its classification.
We created our own nutritional education after-school program at Ortega Elementary in East Austin to not only teach about tomatoes, but a wide variety of staple fruits and vegetables many of these kids had never even heard of.
Our mission with this education venture is to teach students the importance of leading a healthy lifestyle, encourage them to share this information with their parents, and show them how to apply it throughout the rest of their lives.
Each week, we interact in fun exercise games and provide fresh fruits and veggies for the students right in the classroom. The students also take home handouts with sample shopping cards, nutrition guidelines, and recipes so their parents can continue these lessons at home.
When we go to these schools every week, we're not just teachers or administrative figures in the lives of these students. We're also role models, confidants, and friends. Since our founding, we have created and taught over 40 lessons to more than 50 kids.
Our two-tiered solution is very unique in that we teach nutritional education to the students and provide the farm stand so they can get produce right at their doorstep.
This change, along with others, have raised the popularity and awareness of our program, creating the foundation for the second tier of our unique solution, the farm-to-market food stand.
The concept of our farm stand is simple. We go directly to farmers and get their excess produce and bring it directly to East Austin communities at an affordable rate through our farm stand that opens right after school. This leaves farmers with more money in their pockets and families with more produce on the table.
To gain access to fresh produce, we partnered with FarmShare, an agricultural initiative of the city of Austin. Through them, we were able to connect with local farmers who provided us with organic fruits and vegetables at a fraction of the cost.
Before beginning our farm stand, our team spent weeks surveying parents on what times they want to shop, the types of produce they want to see, and the prices they're willing to pay. After all of our market research, we began our trial stage on February 24th, 2017.
We bought spinach, cabbages, carrots, and cilantro from FarmShare. Originally, our pricing model was a flat $2.15 a pound rate. This ensured us enough profit to not only buy produce for the next week, but also expand our after-school curriculum.
We use these findings to adapt our pricing model to better meet the needs of these families. We're currently trying to expand our payment options from just cash and credit cards
to food stamps.
We reached 15 families at our first farm stand. Our turnout rate increased by 50% after we integrated bilingual flyers into our marketing strategy.
Our stand even caught the attention of a local organization called Bone Shaker, which runs an after-school exercise program for Austin students. By the end of this year, we hope to collaborate with them and expand to new markets.
Sprout Scouts is unique in our ability to respond quickly to market changes.
We make a commitment to be there for these students regardless of their economic situation. In this way, Sprout Scouts is alleviating economic, social, and health risks within East Austin, one child, one parent, and one family at a time.
Now it's time to turn the page to our next project, the Wayma Bakery. This project was founded in 2013, is halfway complete, and is without question the most ambitious project that Texas Enactus has ever undertaken. It's located a half a world away in Bukembe, Kenya.
I wish we could say Bukembe's socioeconomic status is one of a fairy tale. The region is stricken with poverty, with nearly half the population living on less than $1.25 a day. The prominent sex trade has exacerbated the HIV/AIDS rate, with nearly 40% of the population afflicted. Additionally, the contested 2007 presidential election left turmoil throughout the country, and many children without families or means for survival.
Yet, there is hope in the face of adversity. Once, not so long ago, there lived a little Bukembe girl who begged her parents to go to school. Her parents toiled away, growing crops to afford her tuition, and she became one of the first girls in Bukembe, Kenya to finish her degree.
The little girl grew up to become a teacher named Teresa Wati. Teresa, wanting to afford students in her home village better educational opportunities than she herself was afforded, founded the nationally acclaimed Highway Academy in 1999. This school educates 450 students and consistently ranks in the top 100 primary and secondary schools in the country.
Yet Teresa felt she wasn't able to reach the students who couldn't afford tuition, namely orphans of the HIV/AIDS epidemic and election violence. She and her husband once again shaped their community by founding the Wayma Children's Center in 2008. The center currently houses 256 orphans and continues to grow.
However, Teresa could not fund this venture on her own. American college students from Harvard, UT Austin, and UCLA have helped fund the orphanage since its inception, bringing in donations for the building of computer labs, dormitories, and a water well.
The center's needs, however, were endless, and we realized Teresa's desire to make her center self-sustainable. We immediately began crafting a business solution.
One that was both empowering and sustainable.
As of April 2017, we have raised $21,000 towards the construction of the building. This building may not look like a feat of architecture innovation, but to our team in the village of Bukembe, Kenya, it is a feat of architecture. It is a beautiful sign of hope.
After learning the potential impact this bakery would generate, we decided to solve many injustices with one bakery.
In the spring of 2014, our team worked with Teresa to gather necessary information on contracting services and building services. After learning that the cost of the bakery would amount to around $45,000, we decided that the quickest and most impactful way for the bakery to be built would be for our team to provide the necessary funding and invest in its development.
Please note, this commitment is not just another donation. We are investing in the long-term health of our community, and our returns will be in the form of sustainable social impact.
Like all good business investors, we required a business plan from Teresa first before sending her any funding.
While Teresa got to work on the business plan, we got to work raising the necessary capital. Between the spring of 2014 and last fall, we've hosted 5 campus-wide events showcasing student talent. Enterprise Holdings contributed a $1,000 grant, and we have engaged generous private donors.
The Wayma Bakery will not just provide bread. It will also give 10 to 12 girls graduating from the center the chance to secure a job and earn a steady income until they can find their next one, keeping them from entering the sex trade like fellow graduates who did not earn high enough grades to go to college.
Take Sifros, for example, one of the many girls harmed by the sex industry. Teresa remembers Sifros as a bright student who did well in her exams but ultimately had to resort to becoming a sex worker. Sifros' story is one of many that leads back into a cycle of poverty, harming the entire community's development chances.
Our bakery will introduce a new chain of events, starting with safer job opportunities, trade skill accumulation, sustainable income, proper education, reduction in HIV and AIDS, and the empowerment of women. It may be too late for Sifros, but Teresa has already identified the first 3 young women that will be working at the bakery upon opening.
However, due to cost, not all Wayma graduates will have the chance to go on to college or work at the bakery. That is why we expanded its impacts to teach these girls one crucial skill: a basic understanding of social entrepreneurship.
We are working with Teresa to create business curriculum for Highway Academy, using the bakery as a learning example. We have already completed an introduction to entrepreneurship and plan to add lessons in accounting, marketing, and inventory management.
The bakery will also serve as a storefront for other goods. The customers will be able to purchase other vendor goods, such as sweet treats. In addition, the bakery will also sell bottled water as an inexpensive source of income, and Teresa has already sourced the materials from nearby millers and farmers from the town of Eldorado.
Now, I know what all you business executives here are wondering. How much of the dollar impact will this bakery generate?
We worked with Teresa to answer this in her business plan. According to our projections, the bakery will sell on average 143 loaves per day. Smaller loaves will go for around 49 cents, while larger loaves will go for 78 cents. After deducting costs, we estimate that the bakery will generate $2,300 worth of profit to the orphanage.
The bakery will be paying over $11,000 in wages, slightly above the Kenyan minimum. In 3 years, we project that the Wema Bakery will provide enough profit to build new dorms and explore other sustainable ventures for Wema.
This holistic approach allows us at Wema to serve as a role model that future rural startups can look up to when enacting change around the world.
Our story ends today with one of our emerging projects. ID Books strives to tackle one of society's most challenging problems, social inclusion.
We believe every child deserves the opportunity to see themselves represented in the media.
This project allows parents to customize children's books to mirror the physical identity of the child and their family.
The idea first came to a member of our team, Katie, when reading the book, You're Gonna Be a Big Sister, to a child internationally adopted from China. She grew more and more uncomfortable with the turn of each page because the child's son did not look like any of the characters depicted in the book.
Because our Texas Enactus team member was unsettled by this experience, she began researching the lack of diversity within children's literature.
The Community Children's Book Center writes in 2013 that of the 3,200 books published in that year, less than 3% portrayed African Americans. Furthermore, Lee and Lowe Books published a study in the same year explaining that even though 37% of the American population are people of color, only 10% of children's books even contain multicultural content.
ID Books will add color to this industry.
ID Books will create the template of the book, including the story, dialogue, and illustrations, and the customer will get to customize the characters. The characters will be built on our website using character developing software technology similar to the ones found in video games. The books will discuss key transitional periods in a child's life, such as the loss of a loved one, the birth of a new sibling, or the adoption of a new child.
Currently, we're working on a prototype for seed funding and investments. The prototype is inspired by Sun's story and will center on international adoption.
In the third and fourth quarter of this year, we will build our website and customizable platform.
In the final quarter of this year and the first quarter of 2018, we will begin building our website. We also expect to start selling and marketing during the second quarter of 2018. Currently, ID Books offers customers online-only versions and printed copies of the book for a premium price.
We will measure the social impact of ID Books in two main ways. First, our sales data, and also an online forum where families can interact and share their stories. We hope that this forum will allow us to not only understand the impact of our products, but also what needs our customers and the families may have from us in the future.
Our primary target audience are expecting families with discretionary income. Later, we'll add discounted books for more needy families.
As far as our profit margins go, we have calculated our price per unit to be $35 and our cost per unit to be $27.49, giving us a profit margin of 21.5%.
We anticipate to sell 900 units in our first year, 1,700 in our second, and 5,000 in our third.
ID Books seeks to create a conduit through which children can see themselves in the stories they read each night, the stories they grow up to idolize and treasure.
These preparatory books help show children the value they have as unique and gifted individuals, and through them, gain a positive perspective of who they are and can become.
Through these three unique projects, Texas Enactus is truly enacting change in our local and global communities.
However, unlike the books our future world leaders close each night, our story has no last page.
Each project is just one more chapter in our never-ending storybook.
One more step toward a more environmentally,
socially,
and financially stable future for our communities.
Whether we're eradicating malnutrition with Sprout Scouts,
Providing the tools necessary for young women to break the shackles of the sex trade with the Wema Bakery,
or Ryan to foster humanity's future with ID Books.
Texas Enactus is driven to create a better future.
we do not sit atop our ivory tower and imagine a perfect world.
We go out into the hungry countryside,
the distant
the
lands,
streets of our very city.
To bring our neighbors the light of